Monday, December 13th, and Justin Herbert is the best quarterback I've ever seen play the game of football.
That was what? I didn't know that was going to be your lead today.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, did you see the throw? Did you see it?
Sure, that was an incredible throw.
No, name quarterbacks that could make that throw in the NFL right now.
Definitely not Aaron Rodgers.
Mahomes. Next.
Rodgers.
Nope, he could not throw that ball 65 yards.
Mike Glennon.
I gotta say,
Josh Allen.
You're in like heaven.
Josh Allen couldn't put it on the hands of the receiver.
Yeah,
he'd miss him.
The most important, the most impressive thing about that was the accuracy of it, right? I think a lot of quarterbacks can throw it that far, but pinpoint accuracy, and he was getting hit as he threw it. I think that was huge. I would say Mahomes. That would be my only guy.
He said he
really
didn't know the pressure was there, but that was the most incredible play I've ever seen in my entire life. I was standing up on my couch as that ball was like landing into his hands. I could not believe that throw. But yeah, again, I thought it was only Patrick Mahomes because I don't think Josh Allen puts it on the numbers. Wilson made that ridiculous throw. Who was that to? To Lockett too. That one was probably 50 yards. That was a bomb, but he threw that ridiculously high. I feel like
he always does
the deep ball, it's just like
he arcs them really high.
Yeah. Moon ball.
Okay, 5. Give me 5. We have 5-year window. Give me your top 5 quarterbacks that you would be building your franchise around if you had 5 years to win as many Super Bowls as possible.
Are we factoring in legal implications?
I know I'm surprised that came from
that's
you.
That's a good question. What do you think, Avery?
I think he should be involved in this.
Yeah. Keep him involved.
Okay.
If we're not factoring in legal implications.
Because next 5 years, you can just lose the first 2 years if he's in prison, and then the next 3 you can win Super Bowls. And I think most teams should be okay with that.
Jared, we'll go to the line.
Teams in the NFL would definitely take imprisonment for one of their players to win Super Bowls once they're out.
100%.
Fully. Go, Jared. You go first. Top 5.
Okay, kind of just off the top of my head, I'll go Mahomes at 1. I think I'd go Josh Allen 2, Deshaun 3, Herbert 4, 5. I'm definitely just going to forget somebody, but Dak.
I like that.
Dak.
He'll be in mine.
So I would say it's Mahomes, Herbert, Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is a Super Bowl type quarterback. I'd probably include Aaron Rodgers just because I do think he still has 5 years of being really, really good. So he's in there. I can't include. You could argue including Tom if you're like, okay, I'll just try to win a Super Bowl right off the bat, because he's still playing at a really high level. So that leaves me 2 guys. I'm going to say Deshaun Watson, and I'm going to say it's Josh Allen. I won't say. I was thinking about saying Joe Burrow, but I'm saying Josh Allen.
Eve?
Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Justin Herbert. I don't know why I have a hard on for Lamar Jackson, but I do.
I don't. I was surprised. No one else. You guys didn't put him in either.
No, he's definitely close. I would have him in he'd probably be 7. Him and Burrow would be right there.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good question. For me, it'd be Mahomes 1, Aaron Rodgers 2. I'm throwing Kyler Murray in there, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert. Those are my 5, undoubtedly.
Yeah, there's a really elite crop of QBs. I think that, especially young, we're talking the league being in the hands of Mahomes, Murray, and Herbert is impressive.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like more than usual, we have so many elite end quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10 years ago, how many guys were there in this elite tier? I would say probably 5 maybe. Now I feel like there's 10, you could argue 12 guys who are up in that upper echelon of quarterbacks.
Yeah, Burrow's a guy you named. He's playing great football right now.
Some of the throws he made on Sunday were incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. I mean, he's just starting too. So a lot of guys like that. I'm never going to put Jalen Hurts in there, but he's playing above expectations this year. There's a lot of guys that are on the fringe of elite, right?
Yeah.
More than there were. So I agree with you there, Jared.
If you think of 5 years ago too, you probably think a lot of Phil Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning. A lot of those guys are just on the tail end of their careers too. There's just this new crop that's moving in for the next 10 years, I would say. Okay, let's get to some of the stat lines from this week. I'm starting with the rookie quarterbacks. So these 2 rookie quarterbacks combined to go 39 of 60 for 396 passing yards and 4 interceptions. And this other rookie quarterback went 33 of 49 for 331 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Can you get through this and figure out who these quarterbacks are?
I was noting something down. The first stat. Can you name the second stat line again? You said
The second one is another rookie
Oh, it's
quarterback that went 33 of 49 for 331 and 1 touchdown.
That's got to be Davis Mills.
Davis Mills is the quarterback by himself. Yes, had himself a day.
Yeah.
rookie QBs.
Trevor Lawrence is probably in those other two.
Trevor Lawrence is responsible for all 4 of those interceptions. And then
So then
who's
the other
with-
one,
Zach Wilson in there.
Yeah, Wilson's in there. He threw for like 175. Not a good day.
They can't separate. You don't have Elijah Moore. Like,
Yeah. Well, and your lead.
Corey Davis gone too, right? And
Well,
then Michael Carter. That offense just got horrific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is definitely
The Jets are
true.
so bad. Like there was throws yesterday. I was watching the game because I bet against the Jets. I've officially given up on their win total this year. He can't hit checkdowns. Like Zach Wilson just can't throw the check down. You play action ball, looking deep every time. There's a guy literally floating across the middle for easy like first down gain. He just won't throw it, or he throws it at his feet. Like I'm done. I'm done with the Jets. Zach Wilson underperformed this year. That team's just a mess in general. I'm off him.
He's too used to playing at BYU and in the group of 5 teams, the Coastal Carolinas of the world, right, Dave?
Yeah.
And he's just always looking for the big play.
The Mormon Bowl was definitely disappointed yesterday too. Taysom against Zach Wilson.
Taysom was actually pretty good. I think it was
Taysom's
15
good.
to 21. He was pretty good in play action. Obviously,
like
as he
7
does
rushing
runs
yards.
the
Dominant
ball.
on the ground.
yeah. Like 28
Give you the fantasy points.
Yeah.
Okay, second one here. Who led? I mean, this is probably pretty easy because you're wondering why I'm asking it. But who led the Cowboys in rushing attempts yesterday?
Corey Clement.
CeeDee Lamb. Oh, I was gonna throw like a receiver out there.
No, Corey Clement outtouched Zeke 13 to 12 on the ground. Both
They, like-
lacked efficiency, but
Yeah, they just like in the second half they just stopped playing Zeke at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
They thought they just had the win in the bag, and then
Yeah.
the football team
really,
came back.
What was he's obviously dealing with an injury. I'm trying to remember if it's a knee or what
His knee.
exactly it is. It is
Yeah.
knee.
Yeah.
I thought because we had a live stream. I had a live stream on Sunday, and I was saying that I thought Zeke was going to be in for like 20, 22 carries. He's going to get the ball a ton. I wasn't really I know he's been dealing with the injury, but he's obviously going to play through it. But they just kind of saw it as, we've got this win in the bag per se, so let's just ease the touches for him. So Pollard's still going to be really relevant the rest of the way if he's back.
For sure.
It sucked for me yesterday. I'm on the fringe in one of my fantasy leagues, and I had Zeke and Mixon as my 2 running backs. So they both underperformed big time yesterday. I'm in a bad spot today.
You gonna miss the playoffs?
I have Ertz tonight. I'm down 6 against Odell, so
it's possible.
I never know. I'm sweating it, but that was very disappointing for me yesterday with those 2 RBs.
For Dallas, I thought that they were I think that they're going to maybe even have Pollard be like 1A, 1B next year because Zeke is. I don't know. I don't really trust Zeke the rest of the way, or like moving forward because Pollard's been incredibly efficient back this year when he's been playing. So
Yeah. He's getting older too. What is he? Is he gonna be 26 or 27?
I think
Zeke.
I think he is 26. To be
Is
honest with you.
26? Yeah, he's 26 right now, so he'll be 27 next year. That's getting up there for running backs.
Yeah,
But did get the money, did cash in.
He's there.
Don't pay your running backs.
Okay, this last one is from a team that has really, really impressed everybody the last number of weeks now. This defensive lineman had 10 pressures yesterday. The next closest had 5, and his win rate in pass rush was 42%. The next closest was like 28%.
Is this Micah Parsons?
Micah Parsons.
No.
Wow. Really?
No.
I was sold.
Think about
I
a
was
team
waiting
that
for you to finish the
absolutely
question.
Think about a team that shit kicked someone this week.
Is it Chris Jones?
Yeah. They are we're talking about how their defense has changed so much and they've been so much better the last few weeks. And it is all from, I wanted to look it up and I'll look it up in a second because I completely forgot to do it. The difference that
Chris Jones, he got in better shape this year so he could play on the end, right? In the first 5 weeks, he wasn't lining up over the center.
Yeah.
They had him out wide, and I understand you pay your best D lineman. He is clearly the best D lineman on the Chiefs, but he's a good D lineman when he plays in the
Yeah.
middle. He's not an edge rusher. Sure, that's fine. You experiment with it. It didn't work, but you just brought him back to when Chris Jones plays well. The Chiefs defense, a whole different thing.
I am just absolutely sick with the Chiefs. We're back in the cycle. They're just gonna win the fucking AFC. We did the segment last week where we said, I don't know about the Bucs. NFC's a little tighter, but AFC, man, the Chiefs are giving up low 30s per game in the beginning of the season. Now they're in the last 3 or 4 games, it's just around 10 points per game.
They're back.
This team is not gonna. If they're doing that, they're not losing to fucking anyone.
No, the issue was you needed to find the offense wasn't clicking, and the fact that the defense could keep them in save the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if they weren't able to play good defense, the Chiefs are they lose maybe 2 of these games here. They have no business winning if the defense doesn't play this well. It's been crazy. It's been nice to watch finally.
Yeah, you're enjoying yourself on Sundays, Avery.
Yeah.
We're happy for you. The other thing is,
No, we're not.
I'm happy for Avery. He literally was at the point of turning it off at halftime. This guy was
I've
sick.
stopped watching them play.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to feel bad for him when they win the AFC and possibly win the Super Bowl. But one thing we need to talk about is Kelsey. Man, hasn't caught a touchdown since week 5.
Yeah,
first
hasn't
round.
been good. He's been a disappointment.
You've been like,
you have
Jared,
to
I was
consider-
looking at you when I asked the question because you are by far in this office the biggest Kelsey guy I know.
I am.
And then
No, hate. He. Well, we were talking.
no,
about
he
this
was
a while
always
ago.
picking Kelsey. He was like Kelsey first round in every draft that I talked to him
Oh,
about.
that's in an owner's box.
No, I'm
leagues.
talking in redraft.
Like we
I've
talked about.
one Kelsey share and I traded
really?
for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
We were
Never
usually
mind.
more on the second round, like Waller.
Yeah.
The Waller Kittle thing.
I wasn't really targeting Kelsey.
He's still the first tight end, right? So, like, look at it on a bigger view. Sure, he hasn't been good, but no one's been better than him at his position, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you had to pay so much capital to get him. He's been a
It could fuck your
disappointment
team,
for
yeah.
that capital you had to pay.
Yes.
That's where he comes in as a disappointment. Sure, he's still tight end 1, maybe tight end 2 at this point to Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has been really
Yeah, he had a
good.
good
We
week
need
this
to
week
see.
too.
We need to see where he would be like as a wide receiver right now. I think like
Yeah.
points, and that's where you take the value.
Yeah, if you think about it, you were really picking him instead of like in some cases it could have been a Stephon Diggs or a Najee Harris or a Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some guys that you could have had instead of him. But so I wanted to mention the Chiefs the pass rush has been really good. They're blitzing at a really high rate.
Spagnuolo loves to blitz.
Yeah, they're like 9th in the NFL in blitz rate, and then they're 2nd in hurry percentage from opposing quarterbacks. So they're getting through, and that's been, I think, the biggest thing defensively is that they're sending numbers and then kind of trusting some of those guys in the secondary. Tyrann Mathieu's been great. So the Chiefs are.
I mean, is there a bigger shit talker? I think I would hate Tyrann Mathieu if he wasn't on the Chiefs. They're an outrageous amount of shit talk every single game. Like it's actually incredible.
What was that? I'm thinking about that 15-yarder he had. That was still. Oh no, they were already killing them when he took that penalty. I think for the same thing you're mentioning. Okay, Urban Meyer and the Jags. I absolutely need this to be discussed. I mean, this is one of a few things that have been going wild on Twitter over the weekend. We'll get to Chase Claypool later because the internet just fucking ate that shit up on Thursday. Another loss to the Titans. I believe they're averaging less than 10 points per game in their last 7. The Jaguars are, so that's just embarrassment. Like this team is terrible. We mentioned the Lawrence interceptions, but roll that video of a post game before I get to anything else. I thought this was an all-time video of him. Like this is a handshake that you have.
Doesn't care at all.
This handshake is when you're playing for the Canadians. It would be like I don't know. The travel baseball basically. You go to a tournament and you make the finals and you lose in the final, right? And you're playing. You're a post game, they're handing out the medals, and of course the second place team has to get the medal, right? Yeah. And this is the handshake you give when you pick up your second place medal from the convener of the tournament, and you have to do the handshakes with the opposing team. You got to walk to their side.
You don't look that.
You don't look at anyone.
That was he looks like a piece of wet paper going to shake fucking Vrabel's hand. I mean, Urban Meyer's like calling. He asked his guy, call the PJ. I'm going to Ohio. I'm going to the bars. That guy needs a fucking drink. Look at that. They have 7 straight games under 20 points.
Yeah,
that is incredibly terrible. This guy, I'm shocked he still has a job. To be honest, I'm shocked.
Why is he still employed?
How quickly, let me ask you this, how quickly do you think Urban Meyer had a drink in his hand after that handshake?
An old fashioned in his hand, about 30 minutes.
I got the under. Yeah. This guy, look at him. He's like, he looks fucking miserable.
Oh, he knew the camera was
on
him. Like, let's not mix this up. He knew the camera was on him and everybody was seeing
this.
This is everyone watching feel bad for me because everyone is surrounding me sucks and I don't.
He's played up the theatrics on multiple occasions throughout his career.
Yeah. 100. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
just like him on the sidelines, like bent over and shit when he was like sick.
Yeah.
I don't remember if there was a bad sickness there. That's on me, but I remember some of those.
I mean, the poor guy's got family troubles too. I'm sure after the backlash of what happened with him. I mean, I don't feel bad for him. He's just not he's not an NFL coach.
Yeah. He would have looked good in USC colors, though. I'll tell you that.
That's the biggest thing to me is that I think it's lost on a lot of people who like are purely NFL. Like Urban Meyer is a fantastic college football coach. Like he has an ego that tells me that after this season's over and he leaves the team or he gets let go, he will not allow his career as a coach end on this sour of a note. He's going to go back to college.
Absolutely not. Yeah, he's not going to just throw in the towel after this 1 year stint in Jacksonville and just say that's it for me. After everything he's done over the years, I mean, there's just no way. So.
He can recruit like a motherfucker. Like he's so good at that.
He needs to get back in his bag, get back to his roots. Like,
do you think that this could ruin his ability to recruit?
No.
Well, like parents don't want their kid going to like
because you have
Urban Meyer
one
at the bar.
conversation with a guy who's that like intellectually sound for a football guy. Like you're just like, oh, I want to play for this guy. He's a good person. Just like, okay, he didn't work at the NFL. Nick Saban didn't work in the NFL, right?
That's the thing about him too is that it was never really about how great of an X's and O's guy he was. Like you think about what went wrong at Florida, where he was like, he basically had a circle of trust with all the really good players and treated them like, you know, the best thing on planet Earth, and then treated the rest of the guys like dog shit. But he turned around Bowling Green, Utah. I mean, the guy turned around a ton of programs. Like anyone who goes to play for him in college ranks is going to easily be wooed by him. He knows what he's doing there. The problem is that he treats professionals, NFL players, guys who are doing this for a living, like they're children. And
the fact that he like ridiculed his entire coaching staff the way he did and still has a job makes no sense to me.
Well,
like
is that
there
true?
was a rat.
Yeah,
apparently.
there was
They're
someone
spreading false information.
I don't know if that's
Really?
true. Yeah, I heard there was some falsity to that.
He said in the post game.
You heard from who? Urban Meyer.
Across the
He
I saw
said-
an athletic article.
He
that
said
the truth of
if
it.
someone like leaked that information because he claims it's false, they're going to be out of a job
Yeah.
once he finds
Wow.
out.
I'm pretty sure the question wasn't even about the information.
I
It was
saw
about
a tweet.
something about the game, and he's like, "Oh, I got to find it," because nobody asked him about like this particular situation with the leaks. They asked him about something completely different. He's like, you know, if there's problems in the room and there's rats, there's leaks, that person will lose their job.
Let's not forget Urban Meyer coached the most problematic college football team in the history, arguably the most problematic team in the history of sports in general across any of the sports leagues. So I think the guy belongs in college. You don't think it was him? You think he was just like one of the boys?
They won a national championship.
Yeah.
though.
But do you think it's because he's like one of the, like he was hanging out with the fellas, or is it like
He couldn't hold Aaron Hernandez's fucking nuts. Like those guys should be in the same room together ever. Like they weren't.
Like you're
boys.
saying, they didn't really
No,
respect
they didn't
him.
give a fuck about Urban Meyer.
It's
They're
it's
like
the
this. Who's this white guy just giving us fucking money to go to school here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Thank
they're
you,
good.
sir.
Yeah.
We'll take
Take
that.
that money.
get the paycheck every month?
Yeah, let's go shoot up the bars. I mean, he did it. It's not I'm just making it up.
No, you're not. You're not making it up.
Making it up.
I think that Urban, the reason they hired him though is because they thought he could do the job that he's done at other places where it's rebuilding a program and bringing it back to excellence in terms of all the surrounding pieces, whether it's the coaching staff, how they do things off the field. Well, I shouldn't say completely off the field because there's tons of off the field stuff, but in the locker room in between games while they're in the facility, that there'd be a marked improvement over time.
This is my issue, and it's more of a general theme. It's like guys like Robert Saleh and the Jets. Then you see, obviously, what's happening with Urban Meyer and the Jaguars. Like, Robert Saleh and Urban Meyer are great football coaches. Maybe they're not head coaches. That might be one of the issues. But I think it goes back to like the Mac Jones debate we had last week if he was on the Jags. Like, these coaches are into these horrible situations where it's not going to happen. Like, the Jags were never going to go like 500 this year. I don't think anyone had those expectations. But I mean, Urban Meyer did things to himself to hurt his image. But I think those teams are in those organizations up like top down are just so fucked. Like even if he has like a shit year, like he might have done a little better. But my expectations weren't much higher than what they're doing right now personally. So.
Urban Meyer is definitely an our kind of guys type dude where he's like, well, look at all these players that I had to deal with and didn't bring in myself. Now, how could it go well for me? What did you guys expect?
I mean, just think
these
about
aren't my
how
guys.
bad these teams were the year before, and they got rebuilding tools in the quarterback position, which they haven't turned out to be great this year, but the team still sucks.
Yeah, it's like just because they got Trevor Lawrence and a new head coach and some other pieces, doesn't mean they're going to fucking win football games. Like, they got to still put that shit together every week, you know?
If only their first round pick, Travis Etienne, didn't get hurt, they'd be dominant.
They'd probably win the division, honestly.
Yeah, it's just Urban was not hired for X's and O's. He was hired to hire great people to surround him, and he didn't do that. And again, I don't want to say that Urban Meyer's great and all the coaches surrounding him suck, because it's partially on Urban for hiring some of these guys too. It just hasn't worked out. Okay, I want to go to the Bills because the favorites this week just ate. If you're someone that bets on the NFL, they were ridiculously good. I think they went from
12
Thursday with the Vikings.
11-2.
Thursday with the Vikings, 11-2 against the spread, 12-1 straight up.
Damn.
That is the fact that the Ravens managed to crawl back and backdoor that game, which was ridiculous. Actually, before I get to the Bills, what do you guys think of the go for 2 down 9?
I love it.
I hate it. Because
Really?
you don't get it. Well, it depends the clock. Like if it's, when did they go for it? They went for it with like a full quarter left, right?
There were no. I think
was there a little bit
still
less in the fourth, 8 minutes?
6 minutes left. I'd have to look back on it, but
My thing is, if
How
it's
did the scoring work in that? They were down 9 and then they went for 2, which would have made them down 7.
Yes. So here's the reason that I believe that there is pushback to doing it, because ultimately you would say to yourself, why wouldn't you go for 2? Because this gives you an opportunity to, if you get the 2, you're down 7. If you don't get the 2, you know what you have to do.
Yeah.
That's what I think as well.
The reason I think that a lot of coaches don't opt to do this is because they think of the fact that my team goes all the way down the field. Let's say they have their drive starts at the 25. Honestly, it doesn't even matter where it starts. My offense gets all the way down the field, puts the ball in the end zone. We go for 2. We don't get it. We're still down 2 scores after scoring a touchdown that we thought could have kept us within 1 score of this game. So they think of it as something that really is
deflating for the team.
demoralizing,
Yeah.
deflating. They feel like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But at the end of the day, if you think about it just with your without considering heart or emotion, you only think about it between the numbers and the analytics guys, it's pretty obvious that you should always be going for 2 in that situation.
Yeah.
To me.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm usually I'm like pro go for it on 4th down, like in those analytical situations all the time. And there's coaches that just don't do it, but
Sean McDermott,
yeah,
we'll see.
there's a lot of guys that
We'll
just
get to
don't
that
do
in
it.
a
Yeah,
second.
it's on the notes. I see it, but yeah, in that situation, I'm on the fence because like you never know if you're getting beat up, like your defense, they can't get a stand. It's situational, right?
Yeah,
If you're confident in your defense and you're like, all right, we're gonna go for 2. If we don't get it, the defense will hold them. We'll get the ball back with lots of time left. So I think it's situational. And I'm on the fence too. I lean to go for it because I'm pro go for it on the 4th down things too. So
Yeah. Again, it's purely how a coach, like most of those coaches would change their mind on it just because of emotion. There's no other way to explain it.
I think it's a logical thing to think.
Like the emotion part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely agree. It's
Yeah.
still, there's logic to it, of course, but I still don't think it's a smart decision regardless.
Either way, you have to make a 2-point conversion. So it's just if you want to do it.
there's
First drive or
less
the second.
pressure to do it
Yeah.
earlier. Like they can bust out the playbook, you know what I mean, a little more and
Right.
feel
Yeah.
looser. So I definitely agree with that.
Okay, the Bills now back-to-back losses. We talked about them against we didn't talk about that game, I guess. because we previewed the game and all loved the Bills. That game was
me and
awesome.
T-Mac were like Bills AFC champions since that take 0-2. They lost Monday night. They just got beat up. They didn't get beat up, but they lost yesterday.
I mean, they got it taken to them in the first half.
Yeah, they came back.
So
Pull it out.
here's my problem. So it was 3rd down, 3rd and 3, right? And I think there was about 28 seconds left in the game. I'm pretty sure. 4th and 3 from the Tampa Bay 7. And I could not believe that we have one of the biggest plays of the game. You know who's in front of you. Yeah, I get it. The Bucks have scored 3 points in the second half. They haven't been able to move the ball. Why is the 3rd down play a fade to Diggs? Like a fade to his back shoulder that wasn't even on him, didn't really have a chance to catch it. And then we're just kicking the field goal. I don't get it.
I hate fades because I feel like there's such a low percentage play
Right.
and teams run them all the time.
Yeah.
But there's so many plays that work so much better.
Just do it on like a 1st down. First or second down, I don't mind. You take the shot.
Yeah.
Do the fade on 1st down, run the ball, and then do another pass play. Like do a stick route, throw some stick plays. Like do something besides just isolating one guy on the outside. I know it's Diggs, right? But Diggs isn't like 6'5", 6'6". He's not going to jump. Like I thought it was arguably PI too. I'm a little biased. I had the Bills arguably, but they're not going to throw that. They're not going to toss the game like that. The refs
that would
aren't
literally
doing
be the
that.
game.
Yeah, so the refs aren't going to do that. So again, play call. Not the smartest, and then they know they're going to kick the field goal from there. Why run that play? If McDermott knows they're going to kick, if that pass is incomplete, if they get closer, maybe they go for it. Like I would have even considered going for it then when they had the chance. But again, not a great play call. I didn't like it.
I know, I know that for the Bills, they can't trust the run, like they can't run the ball, so that brings into this like that. I mean, in that scenario, there's only 28 seconds left. I think they had a timeout. Did they? I'm almost positive they had one timeout left. I could be wrong. So if they didn't have a timeout, then of course you have the problem of if you're going for a play that just moves the sticks, then you're going to be burning clock, and maybe at the end of the day you don't even have an extra play left. Like you might just, if you convert it, you might still have to kick the field goal right away. But there was a lot of time in that game. I also just think it was the perfect scenario for them too, because they tied the game, right, which I hated. I thought they should have just went for the win, considering that they were getting killed and had a massive comeback.
I mean, the classic thing is you go for the win on the road, and then you go for the tie, play for overtime at home.
True. But this perfect situation for them in the fact that they kick the field goal, they tie the game, then they get the ball. Then you get the ball. And you could have won the game and not given the Bucs the ball back, but turns out you're punting, and you just knew their fate was sealed from there. Maybe they could have covered 3.5. That would have been fucking nice instead of the broken down coverage. But still, I mean, your fate is sealed once you punt the ball back to Tom Brady in overtime.
Yeah, I had money line for a unit, so I was after that punt. I switched the channel. I was like, I knew it was gonna happen. Tom Brady's getting a fucking field goal here, like minimum, and then the guy breaks it off. The 3.5 bettors, I actually sent prayers to UT Mac. That was brutal. Like make the tackle, because if he tackles him, like let's say on the 25 or 20 yard line, they're just gonna kick. Like they're gonna run the ball a couple times and kick. So absolutely brutal beat. I don't know what was the worst beat though, the Browns or the Bills. Those are two really, really bad beats in the same day. Backup Browns were destroying them. The backup QB, he played incredible, by the way. We didn't even mention that. He played really well.
So did Rashad Bateman.
Yeah. Shout out.
Bateman destroyed man coverage. PFF, he dominated.
Avery's guy.
The thing that stuck out from that Browns game is that for any of you that are betting on football in a situation like that with the Browns where they blew that game. I was watching the game with some friends, and one of the guys sitting next to me had bet the Browns. I was like, dude, you just have to hope they lose at this point. Like, if you're not going to cover the 2.5, I'm just like, you deserve to lose. I don't want you to win. Fuck you guys.
I actually agree. If I'm not going to win my bet, I hope the team fucking loses.
As long as it's not my team, I'm like, you blew this cover so badly, I do not want you to have the satisfaction of a win either.
The worst part is, though, it's kind of like karma, because Browns bettors, when they were up big and Lamar went down like in the bag. They're like, this is in the bag. Like they're laughing, and then little do you know, gambling at its purest form on NFL Sunday just comes back and bites you in the ass.
Oh my God.
Horrible. Both of them. Horrible.
Okay. Chase Claypool. I wanted to talk about Claypool. I know it's been 5 days since that happened, but he is on quite the run of just ridiculous antics. I should have looked up how many unsportsmanlike conduct penalties he's had this year, but he's been doing a ton of stuff, like after the whistle, getting into it with guys. He got into it with one of the Vikings DBs. I don't know if it was Dantzler. I think it was somebody else earlier in the game in the first half. And then the fact that he catches that ball,
that was so
points
stupid,
and
cost them a play.
Yeah, cost them a chance to win the game. And then this is an interview from post game of him, honestly, pretty much trying to completely take away from the fact that he made just a gigantic.
He tried to blame the offensive lineman.
Yeah, just run the video there, Sandy.
Definitely got to be better. I got tackled near the hash, did my little first down point, and went to hand the ball to the ref. He had just got there. So even if I got right up and looked for him, he just wasn't there. So he ran down the field to come get the ball, and the ball got knocked out of my hands. That's what costed us time. But I definitely do have to be better. I knew the situation. I know I'm near the hash. I know the ball's placed on the hash, but.
What about just blatantly lying? It's like, I tried to hand the ball to the ref.
He goes, I knew I was near the hash. That's what he's like, I got to be better, but I knew I was near the hash, as in I knew that I was right where the ball was going to be spotted anyway, so I can do whatever I want and celebrate.
I don't disagree with him there, to be honest. Just think about, what did he make? Like a 7, like sure, boneheaded play and all. What was it, like a 7-yard catch or something?
Yeah.
You got to wait. Like you can do what he did and still have the ball there, and people aren't ready or set yet, and nothing would have happened. But it was just the whole fumbling of the ball and it just like falling on the turf or whatever made that look way worse than it should have been.
Well, it's also the reason that the ball fell on the ground. Actually, I did notice that it was actually one of the Ravens defenders that like knocked the ball farther away from them.
Really?
Yeah, you could see a backside.
If he just
video
goes
of
and places the ball on the ground lets the ref place it exactly where it's supposed to be. Like that saves them probably 4 seconds.
The whole
4 or
reason
5.
this happened is because who was it? Was it the center? Like that panicked and ran over to him. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And that's what resulted in the ball getting knocked away. But the reason he's panicking is because he's like, what is Claypool doing here?
Yeah.
And then the comments last week that said, we want music at practice. Like, maybe we'll practice better. And
Unbelievable.
Mike Tomlin was just like, no, like, let me handle that.
Saying that after a loss and in a game that they got absolutely killed in against the Bengals, I could not believe that. I could not believe that he said that. Yeah, I've seen this video.
This is all
Larry
time.
Fitzgerald
So
versus Chase Claypool.
they literally, NFL memes looped a difference between Larry Fitzgerald literally ripping the ball out of Hopkins' hands.
Getting it into
This is literally my football coach, my Pop Warner youth football coach.
Look
said
at how
to me,
fast that is.
No, look at the difference. It's hilarious. Big team, little me. The word me is in team, but you're a small part of the team. Chase Claypool, big me guy, small team guy. You know what I mean? Like he literally said, he goes, you know what? The ball got knocked out of my hand. That's why we lost, but I have to be better. That's where you lose me. Like that whole charade he puts on loses all of his credibility. The apology means nothing.
No, it's
like
not an
I got to be
apology.
better. It's not even an apology. Like I got to be better means nothing when you deliver it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a great difference. It shows you right here.
Yeah, the video ends without him actually even putting the ball.
Yeah, look at
like
him.
without them snapping the ball yet.
I mean, the ball did get knocked to Avery's point. It got knocked out of his hands, but he was
Like,
like,
look, it's rolling towards
Yeah.
the numbers.
But like, look how slow. Like 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. He didn't point. He was tackled for 2 seconds and then pointed. Like, do your point. Get on the. Don't even do your point. But
I
if
mean,
you're
they
gonna do it,
would've-
Unbelievable.
They
yeah,
would have,
horrible.
if we look at that again, they would have had the ball like able to be snapped about the same time, even with that.
Are you willing to die on this hill?
Like pretty close, just because where the ball
Avery.
was. Look, just watch the video. Again.
I know. I saw the video.
Well, it-
I get what you're saying, but it doesn't really
Still,
matter.
the reason it got knocked out of his hand was because he didn't just get up, place the ball down, and let them snap it.
It doesn't.
All right,
it-
let's see.
It's still his
my problem
fault.
is it doesn't even matter. Is because the fact is he's not even thinking about how
Look
can
how
we.
far they ran. Like they're all lined up.
I mean-
you see them.
they're
all
snapped
ready to
stuff.
go.
Look at they're still running for the ball and they're snapped.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
I can't believe that. I can't believe this guy is a Canadian like I am. I can't believe it. It sucks. It
Not
sucks.
ref-
He's ruining us.
Ever since that loss to the Browns, where he was maybe the biggest crybaby bitch I've ever seen in my life, and he's like, the Browns are going to lose in the next round anyway after they lost. I couldn't believe that.
Chase Claypool misses his TikTok best friend, Juju
Juju?
Smith. They're the dynamic duo on and off the field. So I think that's a big
my
reason
God.
why. But he had a
Okay.
good game outside of that, just on the record.
Yeah, like
It's a place. Yeah,
take out
Couple
all the
contested-
antics, and
Yeah.
he's so good at making contested catches.
Yeah. Anyways.
Agreed. Okay, I'll wrap it up with some fantasy, and then we'll go to Monday Night Football. Going to do a little bit of. I want to do a little bit of dynasty, considering we're now near the end of the year. So talk about a running back, wide receiver, and QB comparison. Let's start with Najee Harris and Javonte Williams. Who would you rather have in dynasty right now at this very moment?
Javonte Williams.
Yeah, I'm going Javonte as well. I know Najee's getting the touches, but Javonte's just a much better running back. And sure, his situation is still unclear moving forward, but I'm willing to trust the talent of Javonte over Najee Harris being in a lead role for years to come.
It's hard for me. This is a real tough
I
one.
think it's I honestly really think it's Najee Harris because we've
so?
seen the proof is kind of in the pudding with Mike Tomlin in terms of running like lead backs for him. He does when he has the guy that he likes. They don't share the backfield. They get tons of work in the receiving game. I know there's we're up in the air here in terms of who the quarterback's going to be for pretty much both of these teams moving forward. So there's similarities there, but I think they're both really skilled. I think Javonte is a little bit better player. But I also like the coach that Najee's playing for. And in terms of the Broncos, I don't even think Vic Fangio is going to last much longer. Especially if they finish the year and they go, what are they right now? 7-6, right? They're 7-6.
They won yesterday.
Yeah, they're 7-6.
Yeah. So if they finish the year, let's say like 7-10 or 8-9, there's definitely going to be some people concerned
Calling
about
for it.
his job.
I'm with you, T-Mac. I lean Najee Harris as well. Like Jared, you're probably banking on Rodgers going to the Broncos next year.
I would love that.
Yeah, that's why you're probably saying Javonte.
Even if Rodgers doesn't go there.
I think he's a more talented runner.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like Tom, I'm just saying in Dynasty, the question was like, do you want to have him for the years to come? I like Najee Harris just because, as you said, Mike Tomlin, the way he's played his running backs, the Steelers are just a better organization, a better team, and they have been and proven that. I think they're going to get a new QB. I don't know who it's going to be for the Steelers, but it's going to be the same for the Broncos too.
If it's Kenny Pickett,
if it's Russ,
I still feel like Najee is going to get his too, and obviously Melvin Gordon's on his way out of Denver, right? Does he have another year?
No, I think it's
another
last year. But
I think this is last year.
But there's a good chance they re-sign him.
He's played well.
He had a touchdown yesterday too.
Not for what he's going to want to ask for, but
yeah. But Javonte's that dude.
Yeah,
like I own a ton of Javonte. I love him, but I'm taking Najee, but not by a mile in this one.
I think it's close. It's really just what you're looking for. Javonte has the higher ceiling, but Najee's floor is just so safe for the next few
consistent,
years.
Yeah, and he's going to catch passes like here. Has been literally done it all year. So.
Yeah. Okay. Next one here is Debo, and I'm trying to get a feel for what Debo's dynasty value is here with this one, or Terry McLaurin.
This is an easy one.
I'm going
for me.
Debo by a mile.
Debo by like literally like
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's
They're
good.
in the same year.
disagree.
They're in their same year, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
Debo's
you're
a
right. Yeah.
third year. Yeah, both in third year.
I didn't even think of that when I was doing it.
I
Do you
love
not think
McLaurin.
Debo feels older though. I don't want to
does.
cut you off.
Debo
Debo
does.
Yeah, he
feels
does.
older. Like when you see him play, that guy looks like he's been around for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just he's playing at another level. So I mean, Debo's a no-brainer here. For me.
Anything like let's expand on this a bit, please, Jared. What do you think?
See, I love McLaurin. He was one of my favorite players coming to this year, mainly because I thought he had that QB upgrade with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Clearly, that didn't work out. And I think at this point, I have to realize what he is, and that's just like a wide receiver 2. Like he has a high ceiling week to week, but the floor is just too low because their offense isn't good enough to support him having consistent play. And unless they do get some big quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson,
The Washington football team has a 0%.
Yeah,
chance of
exactly.
doing
That's
something
what I'm
like
thinking.
that.
Like they're not a team that will do that. So that's going to hurt Terry McLaurin. He's just going to be a wide receiver 2 for his career.
Here's why I'm taking Debo Samuel. A lot of it attribute to Kyle Shanahan. We were haters on Kyle Shanahan. We went on his life, but Debo Samuel is playing like a running back. How many touches? He's running the football. He's had a rushing touchdown yesterday. I think it's second in the back-to-back weeks.
he had one catch yesterday.
One catch yesterday. How many fantasy points do you know off the top of your head?
He had a touchdown. So
Yeah,
he
whatever.
probably had
he had like a
16
40-yard rush or
at
something.
best.
The guy is just versatile. Kyle Shanahan, great offensive mind. As much as we ripped him this year, he moves him around, does great things. I think that's a lot of why I love Debo Samuel going forward. I don't even think Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback. He runs well in that system. Like he's playing decent over the last few weeks. They're winning football games, but I mean, in this one, just with the pure coaching and quarterback situation, the way they operate the offense, definitely Debo.
We even saw in the couple games Trey Lance played, Debo was still very involved.
He had like that 90-yard to 80-yard. It was a
Yeah.
broken play, but he had a long touchdown with Lance. But I love Debo.
My biggest thing here is that I get Bill Belichick type vibes from Kyle Shanahan, and that we cannot predict what, when he thinks a guy is no longer at the top of his game, when he's willing to make a change in terms of his favorite target. I mean, so many people, including myself a little bit, I thought Brandon Ayuk, I didn't love Brandon Ayuk, but I did think that he could have had the chance to have a good season. I mean, he's bouncing back. He's bouncing back, of course. But the beginning of the year was what happened with him. I know there was that little bit of an injury issue there. Who could predict something like that? From any other coach, I feel like we'd have a pretty good idea of what to expect. So that concerns me. A bit of the injury stuff as well with Debo. I still think it's Debo, but I think that in terms of just kind of capping your expectation, not capping them, but don't have the craziest of expectations for Debo year in and year out, just because I think that Kyle Shanahan's a guy who thinks that he has a massive ego that needs to be stroked by. I think he'll give opportunity to players that aren't the most skillful and try to make them incredible, game-changing type
Just to be like,
players.
look what I did.
They're still to say, look what I can do. Like a guy like Debo Samuel, I will guarantee you that Kyle Shanahan does not want to pay a guy like Debo Samuel a ton of money.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
He's gonna get his back. Would he have another year and then he's on up the contract, right?
Yeah, that's true. He would.
He was a
would be
second-round
here.
pick, so he doesn't have the
extra year.
extra year. I also think that San Francisco has one of the best and most underrated trio of pass catchers on this offense. Like with Debo, Kittle, and Ayuk, like all three of them are so good at what they do. And
Kittle, man, it's incredible.
Arguably the best trio in the league, in my opinion.
I don't.
Maybe that's a hot take.
It's not there.
Kittle and
Mike
Debo
Evans,
are
Chris
top.
Godwin,
That duo is nice.
Gronkowski.
Ayuk's come on, but
Hughes looks
yeah,
really
they
good.
did the Tampa Bay trio.
Tampa's
Yeah,
better.
Tampa.
I'd probably argue that. No, I probably wouldn't argue the Cowboys are better. It's close.
They're definitely top
Cooper
three
had
for sure.
Cooper's had a good game yesterday, right? I think.
Okay, last one, and then we'll get to Monday Night Football with a couple veteran quarterbacks here, somewhat veteran quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford or Ryan Tannehill.
I'm going Stafford for sure. Like he's just got such a good team around him. Sure,
But they're fucked, right? They have they're gonna have to get rid of don't they have some guys they're way over the cap like in the next year or two?
I'm
we're
sure
talking
their cap
we're talking
situation's
dynasty,
crazy.
right? No,
The
yeah.
salary cap is fake in football.
It kind of feels like it.
you're gonna have another year or
The
two with those
Saints
guys though.
last year.
You get more money, but I didn't even know this. You get more money by not spending to your cap ceiling the previous year. You'll get that cap to spend the next year.
I did
Really?
not know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
That's why the Chargers had a lot of money left, but they didn't spend it because apparently you can use some of that money into the following season, not be over the cap. I do think that Tannehill can really bounce back next year with with
A
Brown being
receiving
healthy,
court. Yeah.
and then with Henry, obviously a huge part of the play action game for him. They definitely kind of limited his attempts and dropbacks since losing Brown and Henry because I think they just feel like they can run the ball.
It's been a brutal year for Tennessee. I think they set an NFL record for the most players used on a team like throughout the entire season. It's like 86
brutal
or
year.
something.
They're still fucking winning games
Yeah.
though. Like
Exactly.
it's incredible. That's a shout out to Mike Vrabel too. Honestly,
Yeah,
Like,
9-4.
That's a fucking the way they were. I think it's them. The Ravens are really injured, and the Packers are up there too. I think the most injured team is the Ravens, though.
Yeah,
if I'm
the
not
Ravens.
mistaken. Yeah, for
Really?
sure. Yeah,
Like, in
I
terms
think
of-
they said it. I saw a tweet. It's between those three teams that is named, but I believe the Ravens, and then it's the Titans, then the Packers in terms of injuries.
The Ravens are think about the running backs.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Just think
I mean,
about the
losing
running back.
Literally, just
They lost 3 before the season started.
I'm pretty sure they've lost every corner they started the year with. I could be wrong
they
on
lost
that.
a seat.
Marcus
lost
Peters
Marcus
and
Peters
Humphrey.
and
Humphrey, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they also lost Stanley, the offensive line. That team
That's
is
crazy.
I think
That division, no one wants to win that thing, huh?
No.
No one wants to.
Hey, the
Bengals lost yesterday.
I thought they won for second.
The
Who did
Ravens
we
are
talk
still,
about winning that? I thought we talked about it last episode.
I think we still had the Ravens winning it.
Did we? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think the Ravens are in some trouble. They have a brutal
Yeah.
schedule the next few games. I know that it's really, really tough. I think actually most of the teams in that division have it pretty tough. I'm pretty sure that we talked about this with the Bengals, that the Bengals schedule the rest of the season was tough as well.
Really?
Yeah, the Bengals have the Broncos next week on the road, and then they are at home against the Ravens, at home against the Chiefs, and then the Browns again. That's a
that's tough.
fucking tough schedule, huh?
Yeah.
And they're in a
That's
wild
pretty
card
tough.
spot.
I know
right
the
now.
Ravens is bad. Like I think that Ravens fans might be a little worried that they might not make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
the Ravens have the Packers this week, arguably without Lamar, unless he plays. He had the high ankle sprain yesterday.
Oh, was it confirmed high ankle sprain?
Yeah.
That's tough.
And then they have the Bengals, and then the Rams, and then the Steelers. Those are not like the Steelers are probably the easiest game, and that's not like end of the season against the Steelers. Like the Steelers are gonna be dogs probably in that one. And you know what Steelers do when they're underdog ATS? They always like to cover. So I think that
except
would
for
be
last week.
Except for last week.
But yes, I think they were. What was
Their
the number?
trend
They
is
were-
like
it was a
crazy.
really
It's
good
like a
number.
4-1.
Yeah, it's absurd. It was a crazy number, but yeah. Anyways, those are hard schedules. The Bengals have a hard one. What do the Browns have? Let's see. The Browns
the
have
Browns
the
isn't that
Raiders,
bad.
which is not a bad one. They have the Packers, the Steelers, and the Bengals. So all these divisional games.
Those are tough
It's going to be
for all those
that game.
teams.
That division's going to the end of the season. Like
Yeah.
that's going to be decided last week.
I might say the Bengals. Might say the Bengals win the division, even though they're a game back. But they did they beat the Ravens? Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So
They
they'll
play
have
them one
another
more
game
time?
against
They've
them.
had one more
but still,
time. Yeah. So
I think that gives them a leg up because, yeah, like I said, the Ravens are in a bad spot. Okay, let's get to Monday Night Football. Rams at the Cardinals. Like I said, the favorites are having a hell of a week. Maybe the greatest week I've ever seen while I've watched and bet on football. I can't believe it. The Cardinals are -2, over-unders 51. Just getting to some numbers in this game. In terms of DVOA, pretty relatively even in terms of pass. The Cardinals are definitely one of the top teams in the NFL in terms of their passing success. Defensively, of course, the Rams, all the money they've spent and all the capital they've spent on defense has definitely been helping them. They're a top 2 against the run. I think this is an important one to look at, is that The Rams rank second in DVOA against the run defensively, and then the Cardinals are 25th in the NFL offensively at running the
Surprised they're
football.
that low. I thought they've been running the ball well.
James Conner's yards per carry is horrible.
Really?
Yeah, and they have missed Edmonds for the last couple of weeks. I think Edmonds supposed to be back tonight.
There's a
Allegedly.
chance, yeah, there's a
Allegedly, I
chance.
heard he's probable, but
Is he probable?
that's what I heard. This morning I was listening to a podcast driving in. They said he's likely going to play, but that's
okay.
still TBD. That'd be a big one, though, for them.
Honestly, I have him
sure.
in one of my leagues. I didn't even consider the fact that he
That he
could
was
be
gonna
back
play.
this week. I thought
How many?
next week I'd
He's
start
missed
looking.
3 weeks now in a row.
Yeah, I think this was his first day back. They could come back.
he didn't practice,
because he
yeah.
was on IR.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't activated him yet. Let's go.
Anyways.
I mean, yards per play wise, the Rams are better. They're number one in the NFL in yards per play, 6.2 yards per play. So better than the Cards there. And they're very good on defense, giving up 5.1 yards per play. A few other things I'm looking at. I mean, both these teams aren't really great on third down on offense or defense. Cardinals are a little bit better. Actually, no, the Cardinals are good
Cardinals
defense.
damn good,
Sorry.
yeah.
Cardinals are good on third down and then in the red zone as well. So what do you guys have in this game?
Rams.
I have a teaser this time. I've been straight betting prime time.
Let me guess. Well, there's only one way
There's
you
only
can
one
go.
you can tease it,
Yeah.
you know. But where am I on the total is the question.
You
'Cause
you tease it up for the under.
correct.
Divisional
I
matchup.
have, yes,
Divisional
divisional unders
matchup.
hitting at 66%. Divisional home underdogs after week 10. Divisional unders after week 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say after.
66% hit rate on unders.
Not bad.
This total, 51. Tease it up to 57. Get the Rams. I was waiting for Rams to go to +3 in this. I don't think that we'll see that day. I'm just going to do a 6-pointer. Give me the Rams +8 over a touchdown there, and then the under
Rams plus
50.
8.
Yeah, Rams +8 under 57 teaser 2-unit play for me tonight. 2-unit play. Let's start the week off right.
So you're boosting it up
6.
10
Yeah,
points.
no.
6 points.
The Cardinals are
Rams are
-2. The Rams
still
are +2.
dogs.
Rams are dogs.
Oh, I was looking at it the other way.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were going to bet the Cardinals
no,
+8.
fuck the Cardinals. Rams to the fucking crib. Then
Yeah.
I love the Rams. Love them. They haven't beat a team over 500 all year, I don't think.
Bro, why
Matt
don't you
Stafford-
just take the Rams money line then?
Fuck that. I need some insurance tonight. I think the Cardinals will pull this game out, truthfully. Edmonds comes back. They're at home. Matt Stafford hasn't beat what's his record against 500 teams in his career? I know he's in the Lions. It's like
His career, yeah.
it's horrible. But even against, they haven't beat a good team all year, the Rams. Like there's a
No,
lot
I
of
know.
bad losses.
I know.
So
This is a
there's some sharp money on the Rams tonight, though. I've been in the lab. I know that for sure.
I will say that this is probably a bigger game for the Cardinals than it is for the Rams because the Rams are what are the Rams 8-5, 8-4?
8-4.
Yeah, so
And the Cardinals are 10-2.
Winning this game doesn't change a lot for them because they're still not catching the Cardinals. They're still not winning the division. They're still the top wild card team in the NFC right now. So if they lose, they'll still be the top wild card team in the NFC. But the Cardinals, they lose.
I think the big reason this
that's
is
what I'm saying. I got implications on this
Yeah.
game. I'm riding the fucking Rams for more than just the football game going on tonight.
We figured out what Sandy was.
Yeah.
No, but I actually I actually think the Rams can cover the +8 number. I'm going to get in that teaser all day long. I think it's going to be a close game. And again, the divisional trend, I'm going to ride that under. I could see them scoring a lot, though. That's why I said 2-unit play for me. Not so confident. I had a 4-unit teaser cash yesterday. Just 2 units tonight. Let's see what happens.
I think the big reason this is a big game for the Rams is because it would show that they're not frauds if they win it.
Big
They
game,
lose. Like,
divisional,
yeah.
like they've just been losing games. Like they've been terrible the past
8-5
weeks.
too. Like the Rams were up in the power rankings every
Yeah.
week. Number 1, number 2, top 3. You know, it's just they've been dropping lately, so they haven't beat a valuable team yet. So let's see.
Yeah, the shout out to the Rams because they could do exactly what I've been asking of them with my Packers future. It's lose to the Packers 2 weeks ago, beat the Cardinals this week, and then the Packers are tied for the top of the
they wouldn't be tied 'cause they're tiebreaker,
Yeah, they
yeah.
have a tiebreaker of the NFC, which would be huge for
And the
bye.
Packers don't play the Bucs this year, right?
No, not in regular season.
Yeah.
The Bucks are rolling, fellas.
Yeah, they're
the
fucking
Bucks are
rolling. It just set up so perfectly.
Have they
you
peaked
guys.
too early though?
No.
No, they didn't. This is the same as last
Have
year. I
they
feel like
even
they
peaked?
came on.
Have they peaked? Yeah.
I'm gonna have
That's
to
fair.
listen. I'm gonna
Fair
get
question.
getting texts from Jared from fucking Laurentian University. Fucking when Rodgers and Brady meet in the playoffs, it's gonna be a fucking bloodbath. I'm ready for it. I do wish they played in the regular season though. I feel like it'd be good for Rodgers. I don't think Brady needs it. I think Rodgers needs it. But
That's true.
man.
That's true.
The Packers don't have a crazy hard schedule finishing the year, which I'm worried about. So
Brady owns Rodgers.
There is
Shut the
the
fuck up. We'll deal with this
well-known thing about long-haired quarterbacks winning Super Bowls. Eve, we know about that.
Is there a trend? Has it never happened?
I don't know about
That
this.
long-haired quarterbacks can't win Super Bowls.
What about Brady
the
in
last long-haired-
2000?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, he did it. Yes.
But he had the
no,
flow.
yeah, no, 2000 was definitely recently, though. So it's definitely a trend we should look into.
That was the first. I don't know. I just thought since we were on the topic.
So I need this in the
3
hopper.
years
Like
old then.
we need to Aaron to cut the fucking
we need to
hair.
DM everyone
hair.
in the office spam Aaron Rodgers except for you. You
Cut the hair before the
spam
playoffs.
and buzz your shit, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. And you know what?
No, but he's probably liking the long hair.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna tell him he looks good in it.
While he's at it, you know what? Actually, the Lawnmower 4.0 for Manscaped could do a good job on your noggin too.
Yes, I
he just
could.
goes noggin
Yeah.
to nuts, noggin to nuts.
That was an incredible roll into that plug, Matt. Holy shit.
You planned that
So
for a long time.
be sure to go check out Manscaped, the Lawnmower 4.0 for Manscaped. All the products over Manscaped. They are sending us some body wash, right?
Yes, body wash, merch. They got the nose trimmer. I've used the nose trimmer. I don't have much nose hair, but I've used
No,
it.
I don't know if I do either.
They're doing a lot of holiday offers as well. If you check out their website, manscaped.com, it will be in the description. But there's offers on deck. Like you can get yourself, if you're looking for a gift, for your man, for your girl watching the show, or you're looking for a gift for yourself, head over to Manscaped.
Actually, gift for yourself would be, and I do this to my girlfriend at home, is that I use her body wash. If you go buy the body wash from Manscaped for your man, then he can stop using your body wash. That's a great idea. So use promo code BOX, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with Manscaped. Special shout out to Jared. Last episode as he goes back to school.
Jared,
he's gonna
miss you, buddy.
He's gonna need the Lawnmower 4.0 from
Yes,
Manscaped.
you will. You and your
Back to
roommates. You
college.
and your roommates.
So much
Tell them to
ass.
use our promo code.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.